Mark Cuban owns crazy mansions, bulletproof limos, and even a dinosaur city. These are stupidly expensive things Mark Cuban owns, starting with his cheapest item, a $125,000 ticket. But this ain't a ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Nah, this ticket lets him fly first class wherever he wants in the world for the rest of his life.
What was the first sale of your company? What was the amount?
$6 million. But the first thing I did when I closed the deal and we got the checks, and I got a lifetime pass on American Airlines for me and anybody else to go anywhere we want, first class for the rest of our lives.
But Mark bought this ticket when he was just becoming rich. So when he went from millions to billions, he gave his pass to a friend and bought a private jet instead. We'll get to that one later. But I bet you didn't know that Mark Cuban literally bought democracy. No, he's not trying to take over the world. He just bought the domain democracy.com for a ton of money. And it was all because Trump wanted the domain. But Mark couldn't let that slide, because he's had beef for years with Trump. Starting when Trump was trying to put up $5 million just to have Obama show his birth certificate. When Mark heard that, he had to troll Trump by saying he'd give him $1 million to shave his head. But when Mark found out the domain democracy.com was available, he immediately scooped it up for $300K just so Trump or any other politician couldn't use it for something crazy. Now Mark might use it when he runs for president.
Will you run for president one day?
Yes.
He's telling the truth.
He was serious about that purchase. But did you know he lost millions on a meme? Mark is big into crypto. And when he heard about meme coins, he was all in and spent millions. But his favorite meme coin is Dogecoin. At least that's what I think he's trying to say.
Dogecoin, 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 Dogecoin.
He loves Dogecoin so much that even his team, the Mavericks, accept it as a form of payment, making around $100,000 in Doge each month. But one day, he would end up losing everything. And it's not because cryptocurrency dropped in value. No, it was because he was hacked. Someone posted a question asking, did Mark Cuban's crypto wallet just get drained? Because the user noticed that all of Mark's accounts traded everything away. Mark thinks he lost the money by clicking on a phishing link, a common type of scam. So his love for Dogecoin ended up costing him millions. And that's pretty surprising, because usually Mark has top of the line security. Like I bet you couldn't guess the price of his maxed out Mercedes. It's called the Pullman Guard, and it's basically like a tank. It's completely bulletproof, even the tires, just like in GTA. It also has an emergency button on the cup holders that allow you to use a speaker if you ever need to yell at anyone. And it's almost impossible for intruders to get into the car. This thing weighs 11,000 pounds, equivalent to 2 giant elephants. Except that it's made of thick steel, so it could even survive bomb attacks. If dictators trust to ride this thing around, it's not surprising Mark was willing to spend $1.5 million on it to keep his family as safe as possible. But that's nothing on his $2 million Mustang. And I'm not talking about the car, or even the type of horse. This dude literally bought a town in Texas called Mustang. Yeah, the entire town. But it's not even a real town, because since everybody moved out, it's a ghost town. So why would he buy it? Turns out the previous owner of the town was a friend of Cuban, and he had cancer. So he needed to sell it, and Cuban was willing to buy it. He's thinking about turning it into an entire dinosaur city with one of the companies he's invested in on Shark Tank.
There's a chance we might change Mustang, Texas to Dinosaur, Texas, and just having all these big, huge Jurassic Park-like dinosaurs.
Since he's still not sure what to do with it yet though, he might also set it up to be a horror town, because he bought a horror entertainment company that could transform anything into a horror-filled theme park. Mark invested into the company 1031 Productions, and since then, they've made hella famous live horror attractions, like haunted hayrides in LA and New York, a horror campout event, and a whole-ass ghost ship. Mark bought the company for a slight $2 million, but that ain't the only dope business he's bought. He's also bought an entire race. It's called the Rugged Maniac Obstacle Race, and turns your normal 5K into an off-road adventure with 25 different obstacles, including a giant water slide and uphill zip lines. Just try not to fall in the mud on the way up. But that's nothing compared to the part where you literally have to run through fire, or this other one named claustrophobia. I think I'm good on all that. He bought this company for 1.7 mil. But come on, dude's a billionaire. So you know he had to spend way too much money on mansions. In the first place he bought, he doesn't even live in. Yeah, he bought a house in the Cayman Islands, but since he never lives in it, he just lets his homie live there rent-free. Now that's dope, but it's just worth a couple mil. His vacation home in Laguna Beach is worth $19 million. It's got entire walls that open up to an outdoor patio and a private pool with views of the ocean. And even though it's a house, it's a part of an exclusive community that has concierge and room service to order food just like a hotel. Must be nice. But still, that ain't nothing to his most prized possession, the Dallas Mansion. The craziest part is, he bought it without even ever looking at it.
Martin called me and said, you can buy it right now, but you have to let me know today. I'd never seen the house. I saw some pictures. Had never been there. I was like, yeah, I'm a billionaire.
It's got a massive walk-in closet filled with his casual clothes and dope sneakers, like the Air Jordan 3s, World Champ High Dunks, and of course he's got the classic Air Force 1s. But the mansion also has a basketball court, giant pool, massive backyard, and a whole guest home next door. That's just the outside though. On the inside, he's got his home office, which is apparently his favorite room in the entire house. Probably because that's where he makes his billions. He's also got a grand piano, 5 different bars, a wine cellar, a movie theater, and the best speakers money can buy so he can bump while throwing a party. But when he's not throwing bangers, he's investing in them, because he bought 2 companies that are all about partying, like spending $650K on these light-up gloves worn at raves. This would definitely trip people out who are on other substances. But he also spent $1 million on boxed wine in the shape of a beatbox, considered to be one of the best tasting on the market. Just wish I could get lit with Mark Cuban one time, man. Like, imagine partying with him and his basketball team, the Mavs. Because if you live under a rock and didn't know, Mark bought the Dallas Mavericks for $285 million, and he's loved every second of it.
There is nothing better about owning a team than being able to run out on the court on a game-winning shot.
Even though the team was losing millions every year, he made it his mission to get him a championship, something only a billionaire could afford to do. But of course, he was still trying to make money, and he thought of some unique ways to try and turn things around, like accepting Dogecoin to buy Mavs merch, or creating a 2K esports team. But that didn't really work out too well. I mean, their channel was more dead than Lil Pump's career. Luckily, the value of NBA teams skyrocketed, making a bank. And now, that $285 million is worth $3.8 billion. So you know he cashed out and sold majority ownership. Don't worry though, the team's still keeping the private jet Mark bought them. Oh, I didn't tell you. Even though at the time the Mavs weren't profitable, Mark paid out of pocket and bought them a giant Boeing 757. It's got seats that are built for people over 7 feet tall, and enough space for Mark and the players to take a little nap. It also has a dining area with a full bar, which I'm sure they use extensively when they win an away game. But that's only one of Mark's multiple private jets. Because right when he first became a billionaire, he bought his first jet, a Gulfstream G550.
First thing I bought, Gulfstream G5. No, I didn't just buy it. I'm a tech guy. I go online and I'm like looking up Gulfstream G5, email the guy and I'm like, can I do a test flight? First time I'd ever been on a private plane.
I don't think you truly understand how crazy that is. Because when he bought it in 1999, the internet was just starting and making any kind of purchase online could have easily been a scam. But spending $40 million? That's a whole nother level of insane. This plane has everything a billionaire could ever need for personal use. Bro must have gotten bored though, because he also bought a Boeing 767 that's fully customized for luxury, but for some reason he doesn't use it that much. Maybe because he likes the Gulfstream more? I mean, it's just wild that he rarely uses it after spending $100 million on it. He ain't just spending money on himself though. He's also spending money on f***ing up the entire drug industry. Because normally, drug companies would upcharge generic drugs that they know people need, just to make a quick buck. People were forced to pay for them because there was nowhere else to go. So after Mark Cuban heard about this from a doctor named Alex, he said screw that, and teamed up with him to make drugs affordable for everyone, naming the company Cost Plus Drugs. They reached out directly to drug manufacturers to get the lowest price possible, so they could sell to patients with a 15% margin. So now people are able to get drugs at a 50 to 90% discount, but in some cases it's even cheaper. Like Mark's company sells a leukemia medication for $13.40, but do you know what the old price was? $2,500. Yeah, the drug companies aren't happy he's taking their profits away from them, and making necessary drugs affordable makes his company priceless.